Good afternoon, guys. I am here, and it might look a little dark. Let me open up the blinds, but I am going to be, I am with Regan, and we are going to be painting Frankenstein. Regan, sit down, babe. And so sorry I don't have my camera pointed at me so you can see me, but I figured I'd set everything up because I wanted you guys to be able to see Regan's painting at the same time too. So we are both going to be painting a rendition of Frankenstein, and I think it'll be something that you can put your own variation on if you want to. And there's not much needed for this painting because it's just Frankenstein. All you need is some green, some white, and some black paint. I will show you how to mix it to make, because Frankenstein has a little bit lighter of a green face, so we're going to mix a little bit of white with this green for the base. I'll show you how to do that, and we're just going to hop right into it. But oh yeah, so anyways, so we need paint, probably 2 paintbrushes. We got one larger flat brush, all right, and then we've got a fine liner brush for like his mouth and his little scars and stitches or whatever. And you're going to need some paper towels to dry your paintbrushes, some water to rinse your paintbrushes. This is a dirty old cup I got. I use it all the time for painting. This is my painting cup. And then you need your canvas. If you don't have a canvas, that's okay. You could simply use just like some mixed media paper, or you could use, they do make paper for painting with acrylic paints. So whenever you use paper, it might bend a little bit on the edges, might curl up a little, but that's okay. What'll happen is you finish it out. When it dries, you wait till it dries, and then you put something heavy like a book or something on it, and it'll flatten out your paper. But if you don't want to have to worry about that, I personally like canvases. Canvases are really great because they're just easier to work with, so you don't have to worry about flattening it out afterwards. But anyways, so on to Frankenstein. I got my canvas here, Regan's canvas here. We're both going to get started, and we're going to start just by mixing up some green and white paint. My screen probably looks sideways because I had to be able to get both of us in on this. Alright, but we're going to mix some white and some green together. Alright, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but this is going to help give us like a light green color for his face. Alright, so Regan, go ahead and you can mix it up like this. Okay. Alright, we're just going to use our brush, our big brush for that. Alright, we're just mixing it up to get like a little bit lighter of a green. And it's okay if you use all your green, but make sure you leave some white because we're going to need it for his teeth and his eyes. Okay, go ahead, don't be afraid to mix it up, babe. Just pull like half of that white and start blending it into your green. Alright, see how it's a nice light green now? And now we won't have to worry about doing 2 layers of paint, because sometimes green can be a little translucent. Translucent means that you can kind of see through it. Alright, so now we got a nice green, light green color here, and I'm going to use this to paint my entire canvas green, and this is going to be Frankenstein's face. Alright, I also have a paintbrush, or not a paintbrush, I'm sorry. I also have a blow dryer here next to me in case we want to dry it, because sometimes when you're painting, you might want to move on to a step and you might be afraid to use some paint on top of it, like to add some white paint on top of this because it'll blend in with the green. But if we have a blow dryer nearby, we can blow dry it and it'll quickly dry it for us so we can move on to our next step. So a lot of times I will use a blow dryer to dry my canvas. Alright. Oh, you're stealing my paint, you sneaky little monkey. Actually, it was probably a better idea. We probably would have saved more paint if we had done that. But, yep, so we're just putting a nice green coating on. Now when I do my paintings, I like to do the sides of my canvas, and that's because it makes it look more professional. You do not have to do this, but it does add a nice touch. So if you are painting with me, feel free to paint the sides of your canvas, but you don't have to. You can just paint the top if you want to. Or if you're painting on paper, that's okay too. Then you don't even have to worry about the sides. But if you notice, I am painting on with a tablecloth, and this is my painting tablecloth, so that way I don't have to worry about getting the table dirty. Alright, because whenever you paint, especially me, if you're anything like me, I'm a messy painter, and you're bound to get your table dirty, and I don't want you making your mom or dad angry by getting your table dirty. Alright, so make sure you can use an old tablecloth, or you can use even an old shirt if you wanted to. Newspaper is probably the easiest thing to do. Oh my gosh, Regan, you have a nice smooth page there. Alright, I'm just getting the last little bit. Alright, the last little bit. We got a nice green skin here for Frankenstein. I don't know about you, but my kids are super, super excited for Halloween. If you want to tell me what you want to be for Christmas, I'd love to hear. Regan wants to be a scarecrow, a female scarecrow. I think she wants to watch The Wizard of Oz tonight too.
Or Rush Hour 3.
Or Rush Hour. I don't know if Rush Hour is quite child appropriate. But sometimes we do that. Anyways, alright, so my entire canvas is green.
I'm just adding some
Alright.
green.
And I am going to use my blow dryer. If I wanted to, I could just wait for this to dry. You can wait for it to dry. It's probably, because we did a nice thin layer, it's probably only going to take a minute to let a couple minutes for it to dry. But I'm going to use my blow dryer on it real quick. Regan, do you want me to blow dry your canvas too?
Wait 1 second.
Alright, I'm going to start with mine. Alright, your canvas will dry on its own. If you don't want to use a blow dryer, if you don't have one ready, it will dry on its own. I'm going to dry Regan's real quick. Alright, and it's actually not even 100% dry, and that's okay, because the next step we're going to do is we're going to paint his hair. And his hair is going to be black, and it's okay if it mixes in a little bit with the green. Alright, the hair is going to go right at the top of the canvas. Alright. So,
do we need this brush?
Nope, we're still going to use our big brush, but you want to make sure that you rinse out your brush. And after you rinse it, you dry it off on the paper towel, okay? So any kids that are painting along, make sure you rinse out your brush, alright? Always rinse out your brush in between colors, alright? And then dry it off. Right now, we're going to do the... Oh, you might need to rinse it off a little bit more. Okay, well you can go get new paint water. You want me to rinse your brush off? She got a lot of green in her paint water. But that's alright, she can use mine.
I can't get up.
It's alright, Regan, I got it. I cleaned it for you. Alright? So you want to make sure, see, like Regan made sure her paintbrush was nice and clean. Alright, and now I'm going to do the hair. Alright, so I got a lot of black paint on my brush. Alright, but we don't want to just smudge it on there. We're going to do like a zigzag shape for his hair. Okay, so we're going to start like this. Alright. And we're just going to do a zigzag shape. And it's okay if it's crooked. Alright, he's probably a big, crooked, scary monster. I don't know if anybody knows who Frankenstein is. Alright, but he is a big, scary monster, and he's got a lot of zigzags on him because he's got stitches too. He was kind of put together, I believe, with spare parts by a doctor or something like that. Alright, so once you got those zigzags, and then you're just gonna kind of like paint the top part of it. Alright, you're gonna paint in the top part, and this is his hair. Okay. If you notice, I got a little bit of green on my brush. That's okay, because black is so powerful. Black paint is so powerful, it'll take right over. So if you start to see little green or white streaks or whatever, green streaks, then just get a little bit more black paint and you can paint right over it. Alright. Alright, again, I'm going to get the sides because I like to do the sides because I think it looks more professional. So I'm just painting on the sides here. Just making it look more professional. You don't have to do this, but you can if you want to. Alright, and so my black paint is a little streaky, so I'm just going to add some more black to it. Alright, so now we have his hair. And we don't even have to blow dry his hair because we're not going to do anything else to his hair. We can just let his hair dry naturally. He doesn't need a blow dryer for his hair.
If he was just in the shower, he would.
If he was just in the shower, he would. Maybe because his hair is wet right now. Alright. It's okay. It's alright. It's okay if you spill. That's why we got the tablecloth. That's what the good thing about the tablecloth is. Alright. Right now I'm rinsing out my brush. Okay. And I'm gonna do his eyebrows now.
You mean his eyebrows like go right across?
Yeah, his eyebrows. He's kind of got a big unibrow, so it's gonna be like a big line right across his, like, not too far up, but maybe. See, we got a clean brush. I cleaned it off, but I made sure it was flat. You don't want your bristles for this part to be all wobbly. You want it to be flat. All right. So just take it. You don't want to go all the way across the whole thing. So see, like Regan did. Regan, that's perfect. All right. We're just gonna go right across. This is his unibrow.
I feel like I need a new paper towel.
You might need a new paper towel. If you need a new paper towel, guys, feel free to get up and go get one because you don't want to make too much of a mess.
Yes,
right.
It's already starting early, so.
Alright, so I've got my unibrow for my Frankenstein. Alright. Now for the next steps, Regan, can you wiggle the mouse handle, please? Thank you. For the next steps, we are gonna do, let's see, we could do, you want to do his nose or his eyes? Maybe we should do the outline for his eyes.
Like a Minecraft one.
Alright, so you guys see, we still, even though we mixed it, we still have some white left. We're gonna use that for his eyes, okay? So we could do, let's see, do we want to use, it depends on how big you want his eyes to be. If you want him to have little tiny eyes, you could use the fine liner brush. If you want him to have big googly eyes, then you could use the big flat brush. Alright, I kind of want him to have big googly eyes, so we are going to use some white paint. Alright, and we are going to just make kind of like, we don't want to get too close, but let's go right here.
I got my water again.
And alright, so we got an eyeball here. Alright, we just kind of made like a half oval there. And now we could do another one right here. And I'm going to kind of make it a little bit bigger just to make him look a little bit weird.
What?
Yeah, I want him to look weird. He's supposed to be a spooky Halloween guy.
Yeah, I know.
So I want him to be a little crooked.
Ooh, I know what I'm going to make his eyes.
That's what's nice. You don't have to be perfect with this because it's for Halloween. But I want his eyes to kind of touch like this because it kind of makes him look a little silly. Alright. So these are going to be his big eyeballs. Alright. And so I know I need to put black circles in his eyes, but I'm going to wait on that because I want the white to dry first. I don't want to get too much mixed up here. Ooh, Regan, I like your eyes. See, her eyes look slightly different from mine, which is kind of cool. Alright. Next, I'm gonna do his nose. So for this, I'm gonna use the fine liner brush, all right? Get a little tiny bit wet, dry it off on your paper towel, all right? And we're gonna use the black again for this. All right, so for this, he can either have a big nose, a circle nose, a long nose, however you wanna make it, all right? Maybe he's got a nose like Squidward.
No.
Like a long nose.
No. Squidward's nose is down to like his...
Yeah, Squidward has a really long nose. I'm not going to make a long nose. I just did this and it kind of looks like a U. A little bit like a U. You can make his nose whatever shape you want to. Alright, and then I'm going to do the line for the mouth. Alright, now the line for the mouth, let's see. Oh, I like his nose. He's got a little curve to it there. It kind of looks like he's got a wart on his nose. Alright, let's see. For his nose, I'm going to make him have a big nose. Let's see. It might be a crooked mouth. Alright, but he's smiling. He's a happy Frankenstein. Okay. So it doesn't have to be anything crazy for his mouth. We're just going to do a little line here. However you want, but you can make his mouth really big or really small, or curved, or like a V. Oh, Regan's got a wiggly.
Like in the picture.
Yeah, like in our reference picture. Alright, I did mine like this because I want to add a weird tooth. Alright, like a little snaggle tooth. Regan, you could add it like that too.
I know what I'm gonna do.
I'm also going to add like little lines here. Okay. Alright, so we got our little lines. Okay. Let's see, what do we want to do next, Regan? Regan, what do you want to paint next? His tooth? Or do you want to do his scars? He's got like some stitches on his face. You want to do some stitches?
Yeah.
Alright, make sure guys, when you're doing those thin lines, see my fine liner brush? Alright, it's very much to a point. The fine liner brush is to make thin lines. You don't ever want to dab your paintbrush like this because then it'll ruin the end. You always want to kind of twist it when you're adding paint onto it, okay? Alright, so you want to keep that sharp point on your paintbrush. It makes it really nice and easy for doing those smooth lines. So if you're having trouble with that, that could be why. Alright, so now he could have stitches anywhere. He could have stitches going across his whole head. He could just have it like on the side. I think I'm just going to do like
I know what I'm going to do for this.
Diagonal. And if it's not perfectly straight, that's okay. Because sometimes, you know, cuts are not perfectly straight. Alright, and we're just going to do the little lines on the side for the stitches. There, and we might even do, let's see, we could do another one too. Where would I want to do another one? Maybe right here on his face. And we'll do some more lines going the opposite way. Kind of reminds me of lines on a ruler. Alright. Alright, so this is looking pretty good. What do you think, Regan? Yours has a lot of stitches. That's pretty awesome. Well, now I'm jealous. Now I'm going to do another line of stitches. Alright. This is the very stitchy. Regan's got a very stitchy Frankenstein here. Alright.
He likes to get hurt.
So, let's see, what's next? Oh, you know what? We could either do the screws in the side of his neck, or he's got screws holding his head on in the side of his neck. Yeah, that's what Frankenstein has. Oh man, apparently I have not taught this girl anything.
I forgot that he has screws in the side.
Alright, so let's see, we can draw them on with our fine liner brush. Let's see. Actually, we don't even need to use our fine liner brush. We could use our big brush for this if we want to. Let's see. We're just gonna do like a short line, okay? But we're making it flat. like that. All right, and we're gonna do it on the edges because this is kind of where his neck would come in. Okay, he's got it. The screws have to be on the side. Oh, Regan is smart. She's got hers even farther out than mine. You're smart, Regan. All right. All right, so we got that, and now we got to do the top of the screw. So I don't know if you've ever seen a screw, but it has a head on it. All right, so kind of like that. We're just going to do that with a line kind of pulling down. These are the screws on the side of his neck. And if anybody's painting along with us, I would love to see, when you're all done with your picture, I would love to see you have your mom or dad or whoever post this in the comments.
Oh, we can do the tooth.
And if you're just coming on and you missed it, you know, feel free to do it later. You can rewatch this video later from the beginning and do it, and then post it in the comments.
All
right, let's see now.
The tooth.
I think we should do the tooth next because
he has like this cheek.
we're still kind of waiting for our eyes to dry just a little bit.
He has that cheek stuff.
Yeah, he's got a little pink on his cheeks in that picture, but I'm not going to add that.
I know that. We're going to do that.
Alright, so for the tooth, I'm going to have him have a big old snaggle tooth. Regan, I'm going to use the big brush for this, unless you want to use the little one.
I'm using the little one.
Alright, but I'm just going to take it and I'm going to make it on the side, and I'm going to take my brush and go straight down like this. Alright, so he's got a nice big tooth there. Alright, guys, we are so close to being done. Alright, if you are an adult coming onto this, you can definitely feel free to paint this on your own. Listen, I am enjoying myself even though I'm not a kid. I enjoy painting anything. So if you want to paint this on your own and post it in the comments, please do. Or if you want your kids to watch this later and paint, and you can paint with them or whatever you want to do, this would be a fun little oh, Regan, you got multiple teeth. That looks even better. But this would be a fun little little painting to do with your kids for the holiday, for Halloween, you know? You know, even if, like, let's say you're not doing trick-or-treating this year because you're, you know, afraid to go out and get candy from people that are touching all the candy. You could even do, like, a little paint party at home. And this one is so simple for that. Or I have tons of options on my website of paint kits if you want to do something different. There's more complex ones, and the kits would provide you with the step-by-step instructions as well as the canvas paint, paintbrushes, everything you will need. Alright, so now on to our final step, Regan, and we're painting our eyeballs. Let's see, I don't know if I should use my big brush or my little brush. I think I'm going to use my little one.
I'm going to use my little one.
Let's see. Watch your hair, you don't want to get it in the paint. Alright, I'm going to give him big, kooky eyes.
My finish is nice.
Alright, so. Oh, Regan, I love your picture. It looks so good. Alright, so a little bit of white is blending in with the black, and that's okay. You can always touch it up later, or it could just be a reflection of light, whatever you want to say. Alright. I might touch it up later, but anyway, so let's see. Do I want to do the eyeball over here or over here, Regan? Should I make him cross-eyed?
Yes.
Yeah? I think I will. I'll make him cross-eyed, and he's going to have a big eyeball here. Alright.
I made the
My Frankenstein is definitely cross-eyed.
I made the color gray under his eyes.
Gray under his eyes? Yeah, you did. And so that's the other thing. If you know how to mix paint, you can make up your own colors. I mean, the colors that we have are not really that great for mixing up different colors, but you know, the green and white that we did gave us this light green color. And, you know, Regan mixed black and white to make gray. So I think we are just about done. Alright, just a little more black because it mixed in a lot. My eyes weren't completely dry. What else are you adding, Regan?
A little cheek stuff on the side.
So for all you moms and dads, or you know, any singles. You don't have to be a mom or a dad. You could be any human being. I am going to be, I think on Thursday. I'm not 100% sure. I'll finalize that and post it in on my page. But I think on Thursday I'm going to show you how to paint a sunflower, because I made some pretty sunflowers on a porch leaner that I just did, and so the sunflowers look pretty cool. So I'm going to be doing that later this week, maybe Thursday or Friday. I will do sunflowers. I'll show you how to do them the way I did them, and I'll even post a picture of how I did them, so that way you can get excited about it. But this is my Frankenstein. I think he looks pretty good. Regan, oh, I like your Frankenstein. He looks a little crazy though. I definitely think he's a little crazier than mine. All right, Regan, you want to say goodbye? Aw, thanks, Melissa. It was definitely fun, and I would love to see you paint it too, even though it seems more kiddish, but it's really not. It's fun. All right, thanks guys so much for watching.
Bye.
Feel free to paint and share your results. Bye.